Here we go. Welcome everyone to the epic matchup
Hobbies
between
YouTube channel. Unfortunately tonight we will not be streaming live on Twitch due to a technical error that is not our fault.
Right, it is not our fault, but fortunately, so no streaming for this one, but that's okay. We'll get this recorded and uploaded pretty quickly. But yep, I am your host, Duke of Hobbies, playing again on the side while commentating, plus my guest host, who's
Arthur
doing everything.
Murray, otherwise known as Dancer. They're all laughing at me. You don't get to pick.
I mean, do you really want to be called that? It's up to you, man.
It's fine, because you don't get to pick your own call sign.
All right.
And it's supposed to be embarrassing.
All right, real quick, before we get, because we haven't even set up, though, the stats and stuff, we have one little issue. They don't actually have the epic ships in the game yet. So first order collaborators, we have the stats, but it is, and change this to a 0. That is the Dreadnought, the Raider for the First Order, and he has a bunch of upgrades, a lot of guns, so we'll kind of call them off as we go. And then I have the GR75 out there for the Resistance, so kind of like an Episode 8 opening scene, but yeah, so let's get started. So I think, Drew, you're what, 475? I'm 500. I'm 500, so your call. So I'm just going to go mute, and Arthur, I'll let you run it from here.
All right, we're starting with the rock setup here.
One chip.
Right. Okay. No, that's another chip? I was betting 2 right on it.
Oh, no, I was treating this as... Okay, so...
So they have some side things going on. I think they're going to do might do a chip game. Oh, they're doing a side bet with the chips. It's about doing the bullseye, so... With that preliminary completed.
So this is actually my first ever epic game of any time. All right, there we go.
And Nick's they're doing a little bit of side stuff on making sure that they understand the movement for these huge and epic scale ships, because it did change slightly. And the big thing you have to remember if you've never played one is don't put it right on the board edge, because when you go to turn, the rear is going to kick out. And with the change in 2.0 is the tool now has this little hook, and there is an appropriate spot on the bases that you slide the hook into for the banks, and then you'll hook it in and then turn the ship till it hits the template, and that's your maneuver. So the back end is and since this hook is in the middle of the ship, the back end will kick out, and if the back end is off the board edge, so is the whole ship. For deployment, huge, the epic scale ships, the GR75 in this case, and the gorgeous Imperial Raider, gets deployed first, and then everything else.
I am. Hit the partner, hit the little skull. Or you can put it up on there too, that works. So they called it initiative. Here, just do it here. I'm right player, so right player, hit that token. Hit the visibility. Hit the eyeball.
Oh.
No. Put that, click that. Now click the other eyeball right above it.
Oh, okay, I see.
Right
there we go.
Oh, get rid of that. Hold on. We'll do it here. Okay, go back to here. Scroll up. Click that.
Okay, there we go. There it is. All right, so we had some new operator training here with.
So my one, actually, I got a lot.
Yeah, you do.
That's one of my favorite lines. Now, Cobalt Squadron is the electron proton. Okay? Not yet, no, it hasn't been placed yet. No, it's oh, huge ships are first.
No, they're initiative 8.
No, their huge ships are first, then small base ships.
Okay.
That's the rule.
Alright.
Yeah, so I
So shoot, they're initiative 8. So, okay.
right there. You're trying not. You're Raider. Alright, then is that you where you're sitting your first turn?
Yeah, turret front.
Forward, mine's side. Okay, now the ones.
Yeah, now the ones.
Electron, proton, bomb. Electron, proton, bomb. He's gonna get wrecked by my electron, proton, bomb. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Electron, proton, bomb.
Here you go, man.
Okay, so this is Zari, who's your squad. First squad. She's the vet leader.
So she's center.
3 is on the right. 2 is on the left, I believe. I'll double check that.
So we have the Duke of Hobbies doing.
Double check that. 1, 2 is on the left, 3 is on the right.
Getting all of his ships set up.
Four ships.
Yes, you are seeing that correct. That guy does have only
Right,
4 ships.
he brought 3 TIE silencers fully loaded up with protons and proton rockets and a Raider. And I have 2 bombers, 4 total Awings, and Poe Dameron. Hoorah!
I am ready.
So we're seeing a lot of loaded up ships here. Because everything that that Drew has is pretty well fully loaded with a very
They can flex, right? They move flex.
What two?
Huge ships move flex.
scary uh, Raider here. It has advanced proton torpedoes, proton rockets, targeting battery, ordnance tubes, perceptive co-pilot, an ordnance team, a damage control team, a optimized power core. And hopefully we have no issues. That was just a light flicker from the lights. Nick's New Republic Volunteers has which is the GR75. It is got a targeting battery, Leia Organa, a damage control team, and an optimized power core. He also has a bunch of bombers, so he has 2 bombers. I'm laughing because Cat has one of his favorite toys that he never gets to play with in the Electro Proton Bomb. I wonder exactly how that will work if he gets that to go off on a Corvette, which could be very interesting to sit down and figure out. He has another Cobalt Squadron bomber with Paige Tico, delayed fuses, proton bombs. He has Zari, 2 Green Squadron experts, and a Talli. And then the greatest pilot in the galaxy, Poe Dameron here, with BB-8, a Ferrosphere paint, Black 1, and an HLC. Hey Nick, you know you
Sorry, honey. I accidentally took the forms.
So what we're seeing is we're seeing the use of the squadron here, the wing rolls, the squadron / ring rolls. So that is the wing rolls with that movement there. So you move one ship and then everybody else moves and fits in a line with a nice new marking template. It should speed up the play of these games considerably. So we're just testing out our view on the new on the other side. Sorry about the overlay with the GoPro. We haven't quite got it optimized, but right now we're running 4 cameras in total, 2 for dice and 2 main cameras, 1 for each mat of the board.
I'll remember codes. But
I wonder what the wisdom of putting that transport that close to the edge of the board, because Nick's eventually going to have to.
I get 2 actions, because that's what this thing gets.
So, oh, well, there it is. So Nick's at the right spot. That neater camera will. There it is. To see where it is. Now, what you guys can't see is, with due to the camera angle, is it is just as close as the camera kind of thinks. There's probably a only about a 1/4 inch. So
She was just gonna focus.
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Alright, I'm gonna reinforce and which is white for me now, because that means yeah, I'll wait. Or you can wait. And then my
So-
second action will be to just go ahead, Raider.
So I think Nick's here is. It does have, looks like it does have a small bit of angle with that GR75. I'm commenting on how close your GR75 is, whether when you turn eventually it'll kick it off the board.
I know. Okay, I know. I have to go straight a little bit.
You have to go straight for the rest of the game.
I know.
Yes.
But here's the best part. I have Leia, so I can always do it.
Okay. Yeah, he's pointing right at you.
Look at that.
Okay.
And you know what? I actually.
That's why I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to heaven. I'd rather fly that off the board than give him a free bullseye. That's what I would rather. I'd rather fly him off the board than give him that bullseye any day of the week.
Damage control team, reinforce front.
Yep.
Rotate my turret.
Sounds good.
Alright. I'm shooting.
Yeah. No, you shoot last.
I can still shoot.
I know. So
I'm
am I.
shooting. Alright, we're shooting.
All right. So Poe, no shots. My 5, Talli, nothing. My 3, or your 4 is nothing. My 3 is nothing. And my 1, nothing. Nothing. Okay, yeah, you're shooting.
Range 5.
So when you have a range 4 to 5 shot, you get 2 extra defense dice instead of just 1.
So that's 3 on me. Oh yeah. So my 3.
I still get first 2 dice.
Yeah.
So 1 plus 2, I get 4.
Okay. So 3d4.
Did that come up nicely on the dice can?
Wait, actually, yeah, bonus. So I'm actually going to spend a charge, acquire a lock.
Okay.
Thanks to targeting battery.
Okay, so what he just did there was he has targeting battery and he spends a charge and he's able to gain a target lock. So the attack there didn't do much of anything. In fact, it missed. But he ends up with a target lock out of it. Now this turn ought to be interesting because I expect to see a bunch of bombs coming out from Nick. with the trajectory simulator, and not in proton. And they're going to be protons. Because there's nothing he can really do about that. So Nick's not even hiding it. He said he's already let him know that the poor first order collaborators is just going to get hit here.
No, don't worry about it.
All right. Knowing now that if I fly, I can just fly that ship off the board so fast. It's kind of funny. Didn't realize I had to set up differently. Do too hard. Can't. Hey, infinite Leia zeros. That's what I got going for me. I can.
Yeah, you can.
I can.
You can. But can you can?
I always can.
All right, man.
All right.
So there's an electroproton bomb coming. Now, so how does that work against a large ship? Is it still... So Nick's just explained it. What happens is because they can't take ion damage, they have to spend charges to cancel it out. If they don't have any charges, they have to take shield damage. So that proton bomb could, in theory, just wipe out the Raiders' shields in one fell swoop here. I'm going to switch the scene to the other camera while he makes these maneuvers, so you can see the action on the other side of the board here. And this is our GoPro, so I apologize again for the extra bit of overlay and the little bit of fuzz you see. That's due to it being 720p and not 1080. But there again is the nice tool that for the wings. You move one ship and then the other ones fall right into line. And that counts for movement for all of them. It allows you to make the same maneuver a lot more rapidly and speeds up epic play considerably. This will be a big benefit when we have very, very large numbers of ships on the board. In 1.0, one of the most awful things you could ever have, and I have seen it personally at an Outrider, where literally 12 TIE fighters had to play against another player playing 12 TIE fighters. So it was just big mass loads of TIE fighters just flying at each other. It took forever. It was miserable, and nothing really dies because of all the... It was just a bunch of 2 dice guns versus 3 agility, so it was just miserable for everybody to watch, and it was miserable for the players to actually play. And they got to play for 3 hours of that. So this tool ought to help speed up the play and make things a little bit more enjoyable, with a lot less bumping and marking of ships. And let me switch back to... So Talli just moved, and was that a bump? Hey Nick, was that a bump? And we're switching back for pose maneuver. So Poe bumped as well.
So Arthur has an interesting question about that. So
I
they
was
did
just
change it
asking
up.
Nick, with the mic off here, in 1.0, if the epic ship overlapped a small base ship or a medium or large base ship, the ship instantly died. Now they've fixed that with some additional rules. For 2.0, overlapping standard ships, so if a huge ship like these epic scale ships, as I've been calling them because I'm old school, overlaps a standard ship, which is your small, medium, and large base ships, the standard ship suffers a critical damage equal to the speed of the huge ship's revealed maneuver. Then the standard ship is picked up and set aside until the huge ship completes its maneuver. After the huge ship completes its maneuver, each standard ship that was picked up is placed in the huge ship's full rear arc at range 0 to 1. Starting with the first player, players take turns placing any of their standard ships that were picked up. Any standard ship that cannot be placed is destroyed. After a player places their ship, they must choose an opponent who may rotate the ship 90 degrees to the left or to right using a position marker from the core set. After all ships are placed, the huge ship rolls 1 attack die for each small ship it overlapped, 2 for each medium ship, and 3 for each large ship. For each hit result, the ship gains 1 stress token, and for each crit result, the ship suffers 1 critical damage. So that's a bit fascinating and a bit interesting. If 2 huge ships overlap each other, it executes the maneuver that is 1 speed lower than what it revealed on its dial. It repeats this process until it does not overlap another huge ship, executing a stationary maneuver if it was executing a speed 0 bank. Then the ship that executed a maneuver in each huge ship overlap suffers critical damage equal to the speed of the maneuver of the overlapping ship. 2. All right, so how many?
That's right. I'm a 7-1. He has 5 shields, but he'll recover 2 at the end.
Okay, so other interesting thing is that huge ships recover shields at 2 at the end of each turn. He's taking 1 down to 5, so he's taking 3 damage here. So they had that slide bet going on with the extra chip if he could line up a bullseye with the huge ship.
We just make sure that was in the right spot. So yeah, that's actually, that might be outside of 3.
I'm range 3 in bullseye.
I was just taking a look.
Okay, you can measure.
Yeah, range 3. So range 3, bullseye, primary.
So the Raider's going to shoot back with a range 3 primary.
So I get 5.
So this is going to be a 5v2 here.
That hurts. Yeah, that actually hurts.
How about that? It's Cobalt, 2 shields down on Cobalt now, the resistant squadron bomber.
Got it.
And I get a chip.
This is chip.
He gets his chip.
I'm not done yet.
You gonna do bonus attack turret?
But wait, folks, there's more.
Yeah. No, that's spend.
Oh, take points.
After you perform this attack. Yeah, so that's range 5. So yeah, so that's 3.
So this is a bonus attack. So the last shield on the Cobalt's gone.
Actually, I can spend that charge and lock. Yeah. Yeah, spend the charge, push the lock, and then. Where's my thing? Oh, that's right. I didn't put. I forgot. I took which would have given me the range bonus. All the way out to range 5. So literally, I was talking to me at range 5. Alright, so I get. So it goes off this turn? That's fine. I mean, I'm done with almost everything.
So I think this electro-proton bomb will be actually very, very. I already took care of that. So he's up to 7. I think the electro-proton bomb is going to be quite useful actually in 2.0 in Epic because I don't see a way for most of Drew's list to not get hit by this, actually. Maybe the back silencer does one hard boost and gets out of it, but the other two, I think, are pretty well going to just eat it, as well as the Raider. And Nick's ships on that side are going to basically have to eat the bomb as well, so that's going to be the trade-off.
Eating that bomb is completely worth it. If people don't understand, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
And I also think there'll be a nice proton bomb going off, so there could be absolute chaos bomb-wise. Nick's been giving me the thumbs up, and they're having to shout to me any damages because it's hard to hear them over the background of the Christmas music here. So I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I apologize for it. So not only is the electro-proton bomb there, he just threw a proton bomb on top of it. There's going to be a mass load of damage coming out here. So Nick's set up a bomb run here that could be ultra devastating to the First Order. So after all that movement, I think you just put it one straight in the back of it and just pick it up off the board next time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I put it sideways.
This guy uses 0, but I'll use Leia. She'll make it twice,
Okay, I'm going to leave this, not switch this over, because I think it's going to be better to see it on this side. So there's the one ship moves.
after it does all of its actions.
So I was just asking Nick if the ship makes with this wing roll gets to move before or after it does its actions, and the answer is it's after all of its actions. So these A-wings are actually quite dirty because they can on the screen here from our perspective, it is the leftmost A-wing at the top of the screen would have been on the rock and not able to take an action, whereas this time it's able to be in the same spot as where Zari is.
focus, link it into boost, express, which direction?
So it looks like Drew's trying to avoid most of the bombs here. I still think that that still might be range 2. Can't really tell. Which one? The one you're moving now? Okay, so the large ship is actually recoil. So the 1.0 one's recoil, and then the smaller ones are the test pilots. So an A-wing could, so a couple A-wings could be hurt here, but
I know. That's why he's going to. Okay, Talli. Okay, Talli. You're being sneaky.
Alright, and then pose. Up, 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 pose.
so I think Poe just, he does a nice tube bank. Focus into a boost.
Alright, so I will focus target lock with Poe.
Nope, it's going to be focus target lock.
And target lock number 3. We only have to measure for a few things. So, range 2. Don't do it yet. Just do it. Alright, now move your ship.
So the players just figured out what was getting hit with all the bombs. So the Raider takes everything.
The Raiders take it all.
The Cobalt Squadron bomber's taking everything.
The Cobalt Squadron is taking proton, an electron, proton, and Talli is taking electron, proton, and a proton, but not both. Raider takes all of it.
Did any of the First Order guys
No,
get?
they were just out. He didn't turn in.
Remember,
Oh, you decided to spend it?
I stuck with that, yeah.
Okay.
I stuck
I
with
thought when you said stuck, I just moved it back because I thought you meant keep it with the original.
I
You're good.
stuck with that one.
Okay.
So there's my wall.
Yep.
Let's do this. Focus.
Okay, now we resolve the bombs. So I'm going to force you to resolve all of yours first. So we'll do electron, proton, bomb first. So roll 4 dice. Take 4 shields. I'm going to make you spend a lot of energy. Hold on, don't actually take your 4 shields yet. All right, so 2 shields for sure. All right, yeah, 2 shields, and then I think. Hold on, let me just double check jam.
It's 2 stress.
No, there's no stress.
Or 2 charge.
Yeah. It's not damage, so it's something. So you have to spend 2 charges, and then two shields from proton bomb, from each electron or from each proton. So
I'm down to 3 shields.
3 shields remaining. Sounds good.
3 shields from your bombs.
Electron, proton bomb here for Cobalt.
Down to, so the Raider went down to 3 shields.
I'm ionized. I think it's 2 ion tokens. Hold on, I gotta remember electron, proton bomb.
It's his favorite bomb, and he doesn't have it memorized.
Hey, how many times do you use it? Not much.
I think you will in Epic, though.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's 1 shield for each focus result. Gain 1 ion token for each focus and hit result. So I got ionized, and then gain 1 disarm token for each. I roll a crit too. Son of a gun. So not only am I ionized, I don't even get to shoot you before you get to shoot. That really sucked. I look where I am sitting here. Oh, I don't care.
In blue is Cat.
No, blue's Cobalt.
Blue's Cobalt.
So ionized.
So it took a damage.
No, it took none because there's a shield.
Ah. What about the what about the proton bombs? Those are damages.
Oh yeah, that one was near 1, so it does take 1 crit. Good catch. Direct hit.
He's going to be going in mid.
Oh yeah.
What about Talli?
Yeah, he's still working. He's working on his bonus.
And Drew, did you take?
You did. He's down to 3 shields.
I showed it on the stream.
Okay, thank you.
He lost energy also.
Yeah, I don't take ion or stress. I lose charge.
Then it's shield after that.
Yeah, I lose charge, then shield.
Alright, now Talli.
Something like that.
And she loses the shield. And then she loses the second shield for the proton bomb.
So 2 shields for Talli.
Yep.
Let's see.
Into 3. 4B.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just. Yeah. 4B.
Actually, I can. Because I'm told. Yeah. Except for Phil.
And now recoil gets to fire.
Oh, that is so tempting. Yeah, all right, why not? Hold on. I'm gonna reroll. Hard shot with a prior.
That's part. You wasted the proc. And it took you all 3 dice to kill it. So I can't complain. Alright, so I'm taking a hit, and a crit, weapons failure, and another crit, panic pilot. Yeah, he panicked off the board. No. Initiative gone. Alright, my turn now. My hit will be range 1, 3. I lost the name. 3v3. Spend it.
You said number 3? Alright. Well, you just kicked off Fanatical.
Yep. And then range 1 Charlie, exact same guy. 3v3. Spend it. Correct shot.
How many?
That's 3.
Left 3. Yep. One left. Okay, my ballers. We'll do nothing for lead, weapon disabled. And then cap in Raider, range 1.
Yep.
Yep, so 4.
So we've had a lot of shooting.
Spend it for 2.
Wow, all of 18 hole.
Hey, I'll take damage into the hall.
What is it, 18?
18.
I thought you only rolled 2 hits, right?
What?
Only 2 hits.
Yeah, he doesn't
I have 20,
roll.
I have no shields.
Yeah, but reinforce.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
one
Yeah,
hit,
one.
right.
One, thank you. So 19.
So the big thing with Epic is I'm just trying to learn and get used to all this, is just being able to catch all your triggers. You see Epic ships do so many things with all these actions that it's easy to overlook a token or two.
Yeah, I get 3. Yeah, you'll do hold on. Do I have any?
I mean, you could spend the charge to take the log.
I don't have anything to change it. Yeah. Yeah. You got to punch through 7 halls.
Range 1 bullseye. So, starting off. So that's 4, range 1, bullseye. Yeah, spent one of them. And then that's only 1 though. Yep.
Oh, there it is. It's back on now.
Okay, so hit, crit, blue stabilizer, second crit, correct it, let's kill it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, dead.
So he just took 8 damage there with 3 hits and 2 crits.
Did his job.
Would have liked to shoot one more time though.
I mean, it kind of sucked. kind of sucked that it got that weapons disabled, but that was the risk with the electron proton bomb.
We're going prime. Or wait, no, that's. Well, actually, no. I can. I'm treating ordnance.
But that's just the front, right? That's a proton bomb. It's
You can perform awesome. Oh, fun on for fun.
yeah.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I just.
You need the
I
lock
need
on
the
that.
lock. All right, no bonus.
Sounds good.
I mean, I literally could have rocketed that guy and then bonus attack. Or no, I'm sorry, I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you kept. That's why I was wondering if you wanted to keep the lock or not.
Whatever.
Yep.
Still, I lit. I did good. I did good.
And then it back to dials.
Back to dials.
2 shields for backup for the Raider.
Yeah, 2 shields backing up for the Raider.
And I get all my energy back.
Talli gets really easy. Just doing one straight.
Yeah, you're right. I see you have to.
Yeah. Let's just go above and not get any actions. And then what? I take a crit?
You take a crit and then you adjust until you're
No, that's
or
huge
that's
shit.
big
That's
big to
huge
big.
shit.
You take a crit and then I put you anywhere range 0 to 1.
Oh, is it? No.
Yeah, in the back arm.
Did we screw that up? Yeah. You got 2 crits and 2 crits and 2 blanks. I don't think you got to shoot anything. You take weapons disabled.
But
So we've got this. We're looking and we just discovered that the huge ship might not even have got to fired. So the
You have nothing that allows you to.
besides ordnance team. That's after we. Yeah, that's after we read.
So I think I actually keep my guy out there.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the players are coming to the conclusion that yes, indeed, the huge ship does can take an ion and weapons disabled.
Yep. Put him back on.
Yeah, he's alive. He's full health, other than his 3, the 2 from direct hit from earlier.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're good. No, we messed that up together.
Yeah.
So Nick, you wanna give an update of why we had to bring them back?
We were taking 1.0 and 1.0 to really, like, continue that. You never stress, you never ion. But then I was looking through the rules real quick for another question we had, and it turns out you can be ionized with the huge ship, and you can contract as a huge ship. So the huge suddenly affects you as a starter. You can't, like me, they're coming through.
Hey Nick, your headphones.
Not coming through?
Not at
Come
all.
up above.
Yeah, commentator mic 1. That's 2.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Um,
me now? Hold on. Hold on. Can you hear me?
we're having a small technical difficulty here. Nick's microphone's not picking up.
Are you muted still?
No, he's not muted.
Oh wait, I am muted.
Yeah. I saw the red.
Yeah, red light. Yep.
Yeah.
Technical headset issue here. Note to anybody, your Corsair.
Red light's still on. Oh, my battery might be low? Let me turn it off and turn it on. That's the easiest thing. Oh,
There it
we
is.
go.
There it is. Now we're good.
Okay, yeah, so
Your
what happened
Corsair
there...
Void Elite RGB wireless. If the microphone has a red band on it, it's on mute. Sometimes you have to flip up and down a couple of times to get
All
it
right,
to go
so
right.
hold on. Let me, okay, so, yeah, what we found out was that you rolled 2 crits and 2 blanks, which took off the 2 shields, and we assumed it took off energy. And actually, you should have taken the weapons disabled and not have gotten your shots. Because it doesn't say you don't not get that token. Yeah. Yeah, because you do accept that token. That's why you can get weapons disabled, like, because you can reload, which forces you to take it, and that's why you had the ordnance team to spend the charge.
Yeah.
But that's only when you do the reload action. I forced you with an electron proton bomb, so that's why you actually. So this is all messed up because he was ionized. We had a whole ionized mess.
Yeah.
But okay. So yeah.
I can take.
All right, but
I can
overlapping. What?
I'm looking at the stress section.
Yeah, you don't take stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to spend energy. That's the only one where you spend energy on. You accept everything else. Yep. Okay. All right, that's no big deal. We were looking up overlap, and if a huge ship overlaps another huge ship, we don't care about that. We were looking at overlap standard ship. Huge ship. Any standard ship that cannot be placed is destroyed. Wait. After a huge ship completes its maneuver, all ships. See, this is if a huge ship overlaps small ships.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when a small ship.
No. Standard ship includes small, medium, or large ship.
Yeah, overlaps a huge ship. It resolves the overlap, same rules as overlapping a standard ship. That's it.
Right.
Then the ship executed a maneuver in each ship. Wait, if a huge ship, yeah, see, that's if a huge ship overlaps a huge ship. If the ship is executed a maneuver in each huge ship that overlaps, it suffers a crit speed equal to the speed of the maneuver of the overlapping ship's dial. All right. If a standard ship overlaps a huge ship, it resolves the overlap using the same rules for overlapping a standard ship. That's it. There's no others. You don't get to place me around.
It's if I go over.
If you go over me, that's
right,
a
which
whole other
will
mess.
happen here
but
with the.
I go into your rear arc.
Yeah.
You have to. I go into your rear portion. Okay.
I said it. Like I settled.
Yeah, you said it. That's right.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're good now. All right. I just gotta set this guy up.
He was range 1 from me.
Yep, range 1 in bullseye. I think that's kind of like it because I did a bank maneuver.
Yeah.
So
I'll accept that.
I'm good with that if you're good with that too. Because I mean, they're both ionized. So they're both moving to ones anyways. All right. Well, we got that figured out. Hey, we're learning Epic.
Hey.
That's what happens.
It's only my third epic game, so.
Well, here's the thing. The next
Well,
day.
at least your Epic ship is actually in the combat.
Yeah, I'm in the thick of it, so.
But this is all good practice.
I mean, this is my first Epic game ever.
Yeah, it's my third, so it's not much to say.
I like this. Watch this.
Doing something special with Cowboy?
I've had post maneuver set so long ago because it's so easy for me this turn. I mean, these guys are easy because they're just. Actually, let's have a little fun with this one. it's going to say. So we had an issue.
Yeah.
Weapons disabled. You take weapons.
Yes. We did it. Yeah, I took charge instead.
Yeah. So I keep shifting.
Yeah, I took charge.
Turn of attack.
Yeah.
Between both of those shifts, but he's target lock. Keep your target lock out there.
However, you can discard a weapons disabled.
No, I can't.
Take a reload action.
Yeah. That's why I took charge, not an actual jam.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna leave the charge where, since that was an honest error, my charge.
Bring it back up to whatever it was.
Well, I'm at 6 now, so it doesn't matter.
Well, then you're fine. Yeah.
So many different rules. It just
Epic in 1.0 was you don't get anything. It just didn't happen. You were like, stress, go away. Get this out of here. You can be ionized.
Yeah.
You can be tractors.
It's gonna take a while.
It takes 6 tokens to be considered tractor, but it can happen. Ketsuanyo, here comes scum.
Yeah, but the tractors go away at the end. Well,
Ketsuanyo crew.
All right, let's.
Six jumpers.
No, 3.
No, 6.
Six for huge shifts. Yes. Huge shifts. Oh, you get bullseye.
You only need, and they're so big, it's easy to get.
Oh, I know.
All right, I ain't dropping any bombs. So we're gonna.
All right.
This guy go. The cat is gonna go first.
This is for you.
Bump, obviously. So I'm just gonna slide her up.
Yep. This is gonna get fun.
Then that goes away, and then this guy, some pump kaplooey. Just another bump.
All right, now that we got this last round of screw ups out of the way, and we figured out what's going to happen with the bumps that are coming, we are going to get back to actually playing. So Zori doesn't skip their perform action step whenever you partially execute maneuver. So he was able to bump, boost, and rotate. And then basically put all of his ships in a nice little line and have some rear arcs here. Now here's what I think that's happening is Poe's going to do a K turn And with Leia, it can be white.
He bumped up.
And then Poe being Poe can do all of his Poe BS and
Talli, one straight.
so Talli's done her eye on one straight maneuver. He can only focus, he can't rotate, so that's
I'll just one straight.
So what did Poe do? One straight, okay. I thought he might have done a nice little 4K and used the Leia to make it white.
Thought about it, but I figured he was either going to be here, or he's going to be here, or he was going to be over here. There's no point to just, with BB-8 I can adjust it and stuff, even though I'm stressed. I just want to remember that. One straight.
Just try it. And whose fault is that? You're slowly going to be able to turn.
My actions, I'm going to target, I can't reach out to him.
Nope.
But I will
Can you reach bottom?
focus. You don't have any shots. I have a 5, but that's right, that's it.
Alright, ready?
Alright, so let's
So,
do
here
all
we
the
go.
first shit.
Well, we gotta pick them up.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well,
Yes.
but, you keep. Oh, God.
I gotta pick them up.
Yeah.
You pick them up.
Putting them both in my rear arm.
Yeah. But I can't remember overlapping standard ship. You just standard ship stuff is one damage equal to speed, and you just then standard ship is picked up and set aside until the huge ship completes its turn.
Yep.
Do it on one bank.
Alright.
I'd shoot that shit.
Rear. Get my pre-calculate.
Cobalt is taking panic. Not stress from him.
Alright, and now I see that you range 0 to 1 of my of me in my rear arm or rear half.
It's rear half. Yes, rear half. Then
Now, after a player places their ship, they must choose an opponent. Okay, so after a huge ship completes the standard ship that was shipped is placed in a huge rearc, starting with the first player. Players take any of the standard ships that were picked up. So I go, I place my ships.
Oh, okay.
Then you rotate them.
Okay.
yes. But if you're playing team epic, you can have your teammate be the one to.
Oh no, so it's starting with the first player. Players take turns placing any of their standard ships that were picked up. They're both mine.
Yeah.
Any standard ship that cannot be placed is destroyed, which we won't have that case. After a player places their ship, they must choose an opponent.
No, it's
This is true.
No, it's
position marker from the core set, which is just whatever we have. Okay. After all ship's in place, after all huge ship, the huge ship rolls.
He placed my Desi.
So you're going to place huge ship rolls 1 attack die for each small ship at overlap, 2 for each medium, and 3 for each large. For each hit, yeah, you gain 1 stress token, and for each crit, you suffer 1 critical damage. So you're rolling 6 dice. So roll 6 here real quick. Yeah, so this is for the overlapping of huge ship, and you overlap 3 large ships, so you got to roll the 3 for each. So you take 4 stress, which equates into 4 energy. Okay, so now I place my ships within range 0 to 1.
0 to 1.
And then I rotate.
Right.
Which you can't. You don't have any zeros. Are you setting it there?
Hold on. Thinking that one, yeah, right there.
Final position.
Yeah, I see. Go ahead, rotate it. Yeah, I know. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take that.
Because he could have turned it the other way and put his
I didn't pick it up yet, so.
Yeah, you good. Take your time.
place the rear of the squadron.
You know what?
But if he does so, you get to shoot the. That isn't a bad idea. He either takes a big shot into the radar, or gets one of those.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants me to just start pot shotting the silencers. Okay.
Second one.
You shouldn't be touching. You shouldn't be touching. Okay, good.
So there's a lot of strategy.
You don't want to bump with huge ships anymore, unless you know you're going to kill the ship.
You can pull this.
What's the issue?
I got pulling this. I'm not gonna put it.
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of strategy built into that mechanic. There's a lot of strategy built into that.
The player places the ship. The opponent rotates it.
I was supposed to place that Desi. Not you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not doubting that you can.
We just looked into
I'm
it.
just double checking the.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did I read that wrong? Question.
Yeah, because I think I gave you player 1. Or wait, did we?
Alright. Combat. Are you good with that spot?
I am good with that spot.
Alright, so you got all your agency stuff and we go all.
So we were just discussing this, and what we were seeing is that there's a lot of strategy because with this bump, you don't necessarily want to, at least in this situation, wanted to bump with these large ships. Having to roll 3 for every large ship you overlap kind of sucks. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Sorry. With the dice, I thought I had lost the cam for a second, but it was fine. So getting back to what I was talking about, is the placement of 0 to 1, there's a lot of strategy involved because Nick placed that way. Now, he has, knowing that Drew has to rotate 90 degrees. So does Drew place, so if you place it with the rear facing, quadrant facing, he has to turn and he gets a shot on, he could get a shot on the Raider. Now, if Nick wants to force the shot onto the Raider, he turns the rear quadrant and sets it down facing them because now he's guaranteed to get at least a side arc. Now, the way Nick placed down, um, the way Nick placed it, he has to rotate so the frontal arc will either face the Raider or it'll face.
He called crikey.
Uh-oh, we got a crikey. There it is. Yeah, I get it is because it actually triggers. So by placing the way he did with one of the side arcs facing the Raider, he forces Drew to choose: does Nick get a shot at the Raider or a shot at the silencers? And the silencers have bumped it in this case. A All right, so sorry about that. We had minor technical issue. The one dice cam started. If you'll notice that it was running slow. We just had a port that just to have to learn which ports are things need to be connected to where on my laptop. We'll be good to go. I'll need to. We think we got it set up so that we're good now, so that we can actually see the rolls better. And because I lost the power pad on this, I'm going to kick up my fan speed a little bit here. So hopefully you won't be hearing that.
So, and I got him on now. You. So, yeah, range 1. What do I think I got? 5. 4 regular, plus range 1.
In a minute here, I'll do a damage update.
Come on, man. Try to keep them like organized. Come on. Sorry. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yo, bastage. And just so you know, honestly, I'm so concerned about turning. But dude, just so you know, that one bank was in the works before we put that other ship down. What? That one bank was in the works before we even put the second ship back down. Yeah. That was already in the works. Oh yeah. I still don't know if that was the right call. I was still going off of. I was going off of what I played against with Jack. Yeah. So understandable. So I get that back. Oh shit! I get a 0 bank. Right? What? Yeah. Oh my god. Shut up! I don't have a 3 bank. I actually can't turn without the 0. I have a 2 bank, but I don't think the 2. I think a 3 would fit. The 2 doesn't. You can't turn. I can't turn. I don't need to. I didn't realize he had a 0 bank. I don't need to. Yes, you do. So how much damage did you take? Any damage? Me? Drew. One shield on recoil. Yeah, he should be back up to 2 shields. I wiped out all the shields on the Raider. Yeah.
All right, to catch us up. So he did Nick and all that shooting and confusion. Sorry about that. Was he managed to knock off all the shields off of the Raider, and so it's regen 2 again. He's taken Cobalt Squadron Bomber has taken has lost has 3 hull damage on him, so he's down to 6. And Drew lost in that round of shooting, lost a 1 shield on recoil, and Zari took 1. Or not Zari, Talli took 1 hull damage. So Talli's down to 1.
I'll drop half the second one, and we'll fire a 5.
So Nick's dropping some bombs from both ships again. So these large ships seem to be fairly resilient unless you take some drastic measures. Bombs can be scary, but I just don't think you're doing, or at least Nick's list isn't set up to do enough. I think if you want to hurt a large ship, one of these huge ships, I think you just run a mass load of ordnance and just run up into it and just say hi. Enjoy plasma and proton torpedoes until they just go out. Yeah, what did you guys do now?
He picked it up by the ship and the tank fell out.
Hey, Drew, do you know what we call that?
Rookie move?
No, epic fail.
Just a
Bum bum ching. I was thinking about it, but no, just kidding. So Drew's telling me to not quit my day job with my amazingly awesome commentary. I really like that wing roll with that with those with these templates.
What are you looking at, Art? That's the wing, the better. That's the veteran wing movement.
I like these. I was just saying, I really like this. It really speeds up play. I wish they would have.
So they're done. So now your fours.
Starting with an
Too hard. Right in the poke.
I rolled like 2 hits. I do remember falling. So it was 2 stress, and I was full energy, and it's like, okay. I remember.
Okay, as long as, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
One less speed for him.
Don't worry.
He's
about
already
the
up to
set.
the bottle of whiskey.
Oh, I know.
Stealing my
So long as I
dials.
can.
Next guy.
Yep, next guy.
Where did I ship that other dot around? I put a bomber dial down somewhere. I can't find it.
No what?
I put one of my.
Bomber dial.
Oh, wait, there it is. Got it. Thum 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 thum.
Every time we play, we figure out a different rule interaction.
Right. It's all.
It's all.
A lot of. It's
There's a lot of complex interactions with this game, especially with Epic.
Alright, so 2. Where is Poe?
So if I wanted to do bombs against Epics or a huge ship, I think you do a wing of bombers.
I wouldn't want to. I don't think you can. You can only do it with small guys.
No, not these, not those ones.
Oh, the Y wings.
I'm thinking TIE bombers.
Oh yeah, with your Drake simulator. Yeah.
Well, you would need you would need the uh,
Veteran wing for it too.
you would need
Actually,
no, you need the Punishers for that.
TIE bombers don't have a system slot.
I don't think they do.
All right, my 5.
I choose violence.
I chose violence. I like it. One over here now.
That's the reason why I'm eating so many more Max. It's like, I choose violence.
She's gonna.
No.
No, they don't. She's gonna focus.
So we're
One energy. Did you already upload it? What? I already recorded it. I'm down to 3 energy. I'll take a. I required it. Shot. One back.
so here say bang. So you lock it in. You turn and move it forward till it hits the speed of the maneuver.
Alright, so apparently everybody's in my rear. So everybody except Carter.
So we have a range 2 from Poe, and the light gets knocked off again.
I got 4 hull left. Or no, I can't do math.
6.
Okay.
6 hull left. Wow, I really can't do math.
All right, so another 4 there.
Yep. Two.
Yep. Yep. Another 3. 1. You said 1.
So he rolled 3 natties, and then there was 3 natties rolled, right?
Forget Immortal Defender, Immortal Silencer.
My one. Alright,
Cobalt has 4 hull left. Or no, that's Zari.
no, the Talli. Zari's full health.
Zari's full, and then
Zari's down 1.
yeah, Tally's down to 1, and then
Zari has 1 shield left.
or Zari has 1 hull left.
She has 1 shield left. No, Zari should be at full health because he's dead. Talli has 1 hull left, and that's the only damage she's done.
Right. Yes.
So she should be full health. She's crack shot.
Yes, that's the token you.
Alright, we're good.
So who has what?
1 hull left.
Full health.
Basically full health, 1 damage.
So, out of my rear arc, which I guess would still be.
So in this position, right?
Yeah. So. After there.
No, is it from here?
I know it was from where my arc ends.
No, this is your turn. This is the turn. I could be wrong. Basically, that's exactly where it's for.
Yeah, I still have both of your guys.
Yeah, I knew you had these.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you had it. I don't know which version. It's this.
Its firing arcs are always measured from the center of the ship.
Oh, center.
Center. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so. I mean, so yeah, I still have. No, yeah, I don't have it. So,
Yeah.
So 3v3.
3v3.
And I can't do ordnance, so you're lucky.
2. Roll immediate. Got 1. She's dead.
Great.
Oh.
Well, that's tough. Go ahead and move. Okay, I had to check something out with the maneuvers. Good.
Hard to the right. We will.
Just to focus. Oh, Saturdays? Yeah, every now and again. I won't be down there this weekend though.
I'll boost and rotate. So I'm going to boost to the left. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. I don't want to do that. We will. We'll just focus this turn. And I got to line up back down.
How does that work?
That's the wings.
You shifted your position back.
What?
It shifted your position back.
Following the leader. That's the whole point of the wings. I don't think they really thought it through in terms of the maneuvers.
I don't think they did.
Because like it's so good on aces. Like if I had this, if I had Poe, like I could fly Poe. Imagine you move, Poe then moves wherever he wants, does all the focus barrels, and turn to do action, which he will focus rotate.
All right, so I did a quick systems check here and with the computer, so I went dark. Didn't commentate for a few bits. They did a movement phase, and now we're gonna have a bomb go off. I think we're gonna have a.
Weird. I mean, it could be. Okay.
Lock. Boost.
I see how it is. I see how it is.
And then, since that was stressful,
Yeah, that's it. Vader. Or not Vader.
Vader?
Vader, I wish. Hello
Vader.
here.
Well, I didn't move.
Oh, you gotta move that this way. One hard.
Yeah.
I got you. Hey, it's alright.
I will lock po' boy.
Sounds good.
There it is. Yep, lock po' boy.
I'm not in your bullseye.
Not yet.
I don't think so. So you'll take a stress then.
Huh?
Ferrosphere paint.
Oh, right. Okay. Alright, well, here, just. Oh. Well, he's extra. He's
What?
mad. He's mad.
Ferrosphere paint. Gotta love that. Alright,
We haven't even used that half the night. Jack, you done for the night? Okay. You got one game? Sure. There it is.
okay, so we'll BB-8 boost. So we spend one BB-8 charge. So I'm revealing a blue maneuver. Okay. And then I will. Hold on.
I was waiting until you were done.
I messed up that so good. And then 2 bank. I'm trying to save myself from this now.
So he spent a BB-8 charge to boost. I'm gonna go see what maneuver he revealed here.
So fate and rock.
Oh. I'll slam. Right? Can I do that?
BB-8 slam maneuver.
No, I can't slam on that one. So,
No, because it's not an actual maneuver.
Yeah. Well.
It's a maneuver, but
no,
it's
but
not.
it wouldn't be a 1. It would be a 2. It'd be because I revealed a 2. All right. So whatever.
So he did a 2 bank,
Yeah.
which lands on the rock.
I still landed on that rock. So I will boost it. I will hone hammer it, and then do the 2 bank, which is clearly stretched to land me on the rock. So live and learn.
Live, learn, and then get looks.
Onto the rock.
Nick, I'm surprised you didn't do a talon roll and then barrel roll.
I don't think a talon roll would have been too beneficial for me there. All right, because I can't do.
You could have Leia, and then been able to.
Okay. That's mine. Thief.
Shield. Okay.
So the end result of that is that Poe takes a.
This is why I was checking the thing.
Does the rock still get destroyed? So the answer is yes, the rock still gets destroyed. Crushed by the raider. I'm sure the raider will take some damage from that.
Check.
Is it an actual?
Okay. No, we were just checking.
But is it a?
I lose a shield. Yeah, I lose a shield. But I still get all my actions. So.
You suffer. Yeah, crit, and then you do.
Then I do my actions.
Do you gain one stress token too?
Nope.
Nope.
So they don't get stressed. That's the only token they get.
No, we get stressed. Clearman, we get stressed if we don't have energy.
Oh, okay.
Asteroid, it one crit and then gains one.
Oh, gains one stress token. So losing energy.
Okay. That's what I thought, yeah.
So we were just checking to see what the what happens. Now the rock gets destroyed, but then if a huge ship overlaps the obstacle, the ship does not skip its perform action step. The obstacle is removed from the play area, and the huge ship suffers an effect according to the type it overlapped as follows: asteroid or debris field. The huge ship suffers one crit and gains one stress token. If it's a gas cloud, the huge ship gains one jam token.
Oh, yeah. After you perform this attack.
Yeah, bonus attack. Spend one after you perform this attack. So you can take the bonus attack.
Oh, no, alright.
So if your bonus attack, spend the energy to get it.
Yeah, to get the lock. Okay, so.
Poe, nothing for Poe.
Nope.
You're fours.
Yep. So we'll start off with recoil,
Sounds good?
bullseye.
Sure, but it's his ability is range one.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. That is. Yeah, that's range 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But you got bullseye for predator.
Yeah.
You still have Poe in your turn if you want to fire that proton torpedo.
No, because that. Oh, proton torpedoes are 2 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, you got him.
All right, I'll be damned. Yeah. Yeah, proton torpedo that thing. Wait,
You have a lock. You blocked him.
I did lock him.
Yeah. So I'm like, I thought that was what your plan was.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. My plan was to eventually hit him. So, all right. So that's 4.
So we have a proton torpedo into Poe.
Yeah. Suspend the lock.
All of it. You don't have a focus. You don't have a focus, so just a hit crit. Hit crit.
Hit crit.
Spend my focus, they got that.
And it was a big whiff.
Alright, you're on the 4. You're gonna fire the other proton torpedo in the cat.
Yeah, might as well.
And the next is a proton torpedo into Cat. All the focuses this time.
There you go.
Change one to crit.
Hey, I'm taking 2 shields and a haul and a crit.
Two shields. A hull and a crit. So what did the bomb do?
This is an all meat. Almost. Yeah. This is almost all meat.
That's a lot of 2 evades. Hey, we better check his dice.
Range 1.
Shut it.
Target lock. 2 hits.
So primary range. I never mind. Okay, so I'm range.
The turn is range 1. But this is your. That's interesting. This is.
So very center of my ship is
Right, when you're measuring the range.
so. That really makes sense. Our calculate like that.
So because we have this 180. This 180 is the fire speed for the meter range. And then the turret is the fire range.
All right, so range 2 and low.
Okay, and it's not obstructed with my little nubby.
Nope, not obstructed.
So 4v2.
And I did not take a focus.
Rotate.
Yeah.
3.
3.
I'll take my shield, 2 shields and a half. I'll fall off the podium.
Alright, and then my turret.
So this has been a really costly turn for Poe.
And then actually my turret is going to go right into turret again. Yeah. So right back into Poe.
So there's a bonus attack coming into Poe. Hit crit.
Crikey! Hit crit.
Hold on. Spend the
Hold on, you want to see this? Correct hit, post deck. Oh my goodness. I just lost the game because of that.
Yep, that's pretty much the end of this.
We're playing it. I stopped measuring from the edge of the base.
So my okay, yeah. So but I yeah, I took a poke kill, which now I don't have to spend my charge because I was gonna take a lock on.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You gotta resolve it.
Yeah, alright,
So what? So
What we were looking at was where you measure the range from. It's edge of base, but the side arcs, it's edge of base within that arc. So if you look there, how that's
okay. So this ship has so the Raider has it has a
What I
full
should've done here
frontal
with
arc,
Poe.
right?
Yep.
It has a turret arc,
Yep.
and then it can also shoot out the rear, right?
I mean, it can fire the turret out the rear,
Turret out the rear. So it's just a full frontal arc and then a turret out the rear.
or wherever the turret wants to be.
And then it's measured. The turret's measured from the center of the.
No, from the edge of the base within that side arc.
But if it's pointed forwards, would it be
Then
from?
it's the front edge of the ship, the front edge of the base. Just
so my primary is my front half. My turret
Is the
side.
Middle side. See,
Yeah.
Look, that's it. So that's why his primary is this portion plus the front half, because it's like the
yeah, so
YV666.
YV666.
But and then up here it has as front or rear mount. The firing arcs are always measured from the center of the ship.
Right. So his turret is
Okay.
here. So that it's they're talking about this portion.
Oh, measured
angle.
the angle is measured. Okay. Now it's clear.
The reason why they have these tiny lines here. The tiny lines on the ship are to indicate this is the side so it's this side. If it was on this side, it would have been that side. If it was front, it would have been middle from here for a turret. But his primary is this.
Okay. These are very complicated arcs.
Yeah.
This could have been done a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah, very much so.
Learning a lot about Epic, and you guys realize that I read the rule book when I got in here, right?
Yeah.
No worries, we all did.
Poor Poe. Lands on rock, dies.
Yes.
Ace gets near large ship that can fire multiple times. Dies.
With no
I
action.
shot at him 3 times and he took no damage on the first one because he didn't roll it.
But that's okay because he stripped the actions.
Got the focus token off.
Yeah, like. Is there something with the battery?
Might be. I unplugged it because it kept turning it off.
That's on stroke. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, let's do the Twilight Zone. Do 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 do.
I would not be able to stand the color change.
You can turn it off.
I know you can. But after like 10 minutes, I'd be, all right, let's pick a color here.
I want to do that. So just so if you guys hear a little side conversation, Jack just saw my laptop and it has a rainbow effect on the keyboard for the keys for RGB lighting, and he's like, it looks cool, but within 10 minutes I'd be like, let's pick a color. And I'm like, yes, and you can also turn it off.
Oh, I'm sorry, I stole it.
Dave, that is my 6. Your 6 is up there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I stole it.
Okay. One straight. Finally cleared one of those stresses. Fix that. Is that good? I straight up launched him.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sorry.
I'm not picky. Look, I may be that guy, but I'm really easy to work with.
No, this has been a fun game still.
It really has.
All the chaos has been still a lot of fun. All right, too hard here.
Bomb.
But sorry, don't care. But she's the best wing leader ever. Okay.
And then you set your template, and or you just.
I got a barrel roll here. I keep flying on the rocks. We're just going to focus rotate.
Okay. Which you're gonna put your. What is up with you? Is that my rock?
No. Yep.
That's my rock.
I know. Hasn't been my best flying.
I'm giving that rock a raise. That is now going to be my primary rock.
There you go.
Art, we got a rock. That's my rock too. It got a raise to primary.
All right, for the rock. Safe.
Oh,
Hey, I'll take it. All right, that's it for me. My Poe was meant to kill those 2 silencers. Messed that up.
damn right.
Except for my bombers now.
All right, bombers.
No, the bombers are done.
Oh yeah, bombers are done. All right,
forced.
so 2 bank.
It like dims itself out.
Yeah, I know. What is up with that?
I don't know.
All right, so 2.
Accept your fate. Oh, he focus rotated. Sorry. That's where he focused.
Alright. Let's do lock.
Sure.
Number 2. Let's see here.
All right, so we're back, and take a small side channel conversation with some friends, you know, spend some time while we're streaming here. Or not streaming, rather, but recording. So Nick's hit another rock with yet another ship. I think he hit it with the cat, but he suffered no damage. And we have a bump here with the from Drew with the that has to be recoil, so no actions there. So this game's taking a big turn for the turn here, last turn. As you can see from the point spread, Nick landing on that rock just took out Poe Dameron, and now you have getting rid of this Raider with the huge damage output that it can dish out. It's now very problematic for Nick. I just don't think 2 bombers was quite enough. I mean, the opening was scary, but Drew weathered that very well. Oops, and I need to get, fix the shields on the Raider here. The fact that they regenerate 2 a turn is just insane. So he'll be starting to regen shields if Nick can't keep the pressure up on it.
Nope. So I only lose 1 energy.
Yep.
So this is gonna be fun. I will.
What?
She probably dies this turn, but he'll still on. He's the only
So I will actually switch my lock.
Sounds good. I'm gonna fire that base proton torpedo fire.
And yep. And
Co-pilot focus.
yep.
So he moved the lock to the Cobalt, and then took perspective co-pilot to get 2 focuses. So he's got to have huge damage coming out here. So Drew's going to shoot range 2 from recoil into.
Which is is that actually still bullseye?
It wouldn't matter, you're not stressed.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, no, I'm talking bullseye.
Oh,
bullseye.
predator.
Yeah, predator bullseye.
Yeah, you got predator.
Okay, predator bullseye.
So he does have bullseye for Predator.
Okay.
All right, your other one.
So
Range 2, proton torpedo.
yeah, 2 proton.
Yep, this thing trigger a fuel leak here too. That's 2 seconds. You fired 1 last turn.
Okay, no, I did pull the wrong one.
You're good.
Yeah, so
4? Yep, 4v1. That lock.
2, 3.
Hit crit. Disable power regulator. Won't really matter for me, but fuel leak. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 hull left.
All right, that's on Cat.
That's all.
Yeah, range 1 into the Raider. Target lock.
So wait, so that's 2? 2.
No.
Wait. No, I'm like shields.
So 2 shields. Hit crit. I'll end up turning off the turbo matter.
Hit.
Crit.
Oh,
Exploding pods. After you perform an action, roll 1 attack.
Oh wow. Put it in the
so he did trigger the fuel leak for Cat.
Okay, so
Got disabled power regulator.
okay, so you can't. I don't get to flip. I don't get to flip my turn.
crit.
Okay, so did the
Exploding columns if you can.
Ah!
okay, so he's taken shields and
He has action.
So
okay.
actually not an attack. So I rolled
1, 2, 3, 4.
He should have what? You should.
So Nick's finally got some real damage into it. He's done 4 hull, taken down 4 hull, but
primary.
control exploding console.
Then all my ordnance. Then my turret. Okay. And I can multi attack or multi target.
Yeah, you can do a bunch.
So
Problem is you won't get to change your lock.
that sucks.
Doesn't
What? No. That's it. Oh wait.
You can receive jam tokens.
Precision shot.
Yeah, that was in the front half. Yeah. Okay, so I get 2 jams.
Oh yeah! So you lose your lock.
Okay, so 2 jams.
I was just asking because I see that they have this precision shot thing from the from the standard ships that they gain can gain jam tokens. So
Okay, dude, look where you are still.
I don't care. I think it's worse. He keeps trying to like set up all these things every time it happens. Something triggers. So I've seen this front art. I've seen this front art. So I took it.
Cats?
It's a precision shot.
Yeah, but cats not.
That's shot in the front. Yeah, shot in the front. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was.
okay, so yeah.
Because if it's
Yet
the same
another rule
weight
check.
as reinforced, then.
I wasn't reinforced.
No, but if it's the same ruling as reinforced.
yeah, so we're checking to see if the same ruling is reinforced because the precision shot could take away the 2 tokens here.
Yeah, give me 2 jams.
Full front.
So not in my full front.
Right. I'm not in the full front half, so you don't receive your 2 jams.
Okay, so I don't receive my jam.
But no, you do receive the 1 jam because he was.
Okay,
So you take that target lock off.
okay, you're taking the lock.
So so Nick does it was in the full frontal half, so he does get the precision shot on the 1, and he takes the
All right. So who are you gonna shoot at?
off the
3 hull left.
Yeah. Now I get 1 die.
Primary.
Right.
So that's range 1. So that's 5.
Yeah. You're gonna kill him.
I know. I'm gonna math this.
I can't complain. She did good work. Yeah, that's enough to kill her. She did. Disable sentry.
Alright. Bonus attack is going. Range? No, that's 2 to. That might. Okay. Yeah. So we'll shoot, sorry, she's waiting. So that's 3. And I can fire them off.
Two. I'm sorry.
And then spend a charge to refire the lock.
No, each A-wing will take 1 because of veteran wing leader.
Okay.
They're in the arc.
Okay. Still, I spend a charge to refire the lock. Yep.
So Nick used the took 2 damage with
Veteran wing leader.
onto Talli, but he used veteran wing leader to pass Zori rather, and then used veteran wing leader to pass 1 off to the green squadron.
that?
They actually painted the engine on the 2.0.
Yeah, yeah.
I just noticed that. And it's my ship, and I just noticed it.
Not looking too good for me, huh, Art?
It's not looking good for you, Nick.
Hey, the Resistance did lose that battle technically.
Starkiller Base?
What? No, they won. Well, Starkiller Base. If it was Starkiller Base, it would just be Poe and a bunch of X-wings, and then you wouldn't have this, and you would be just a bunch of TIE FOs trying to cut me down. And if I got to the core, I win. That would be the scenario.
Yeah, that would be the same.
And then he just goes like
We would have to do
Marvel superhero.
We would have to do like
a trench run.
yeah, like a 12-foot board or something.
That would probably be.
Yeah, we'd have to take up the whole board.
Yeah,
So I start at that end, you start at this end, and we'd have to come.
And here's my actual map.
Yeah.
And we'd meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm set, dude.
I gotta think of this style. I don't know why, but there we go. I'm good.
And then he goes Marvel superhero and just fires
All
off
right,
a bunch of
so
torpedoes.
I will launch the last bomb I got. With this guy.
Just Hail Mary in that.
Does he still gain 2 shields back on the Raider?
Yeah.
It's always two.
Always 2 shields. It's so
What do you
frustrating.
have? 1 or 2?
1. I only recover 1 stuff around.
Okay, so yeah, I always recover 2.
He only recovers 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 straight clears the last stress. Whoop whoop.
4 ships is doing work.
The Raider's doing work. Let's be honest here.
The Raider, okay, yes, the Raider is doing.
Yes, that
all
Raider.
the work.
Ah, that bumped it.
Really bumped now.
Well, it's easy to fix that because of the
I mean, that Raider is doing work, but still.
Okay, put that back. Slide that up.
Good seeing you, man.
See you, Jack.
Thursday? Or wait, what's next Thursday?
That is the. Oh yeah, because I bumped him.
Next Thursday is not Christmas, so.
Okay.
No Thursday's Christmas.
Next Thursday, I'm actually seeing Star Wars, so I won't be here.
Next Thursday is the 19th.
Yes.
Next Thursday, night is Star Wars. So, I don't know who's all going to be here and who isn't.
I'm not. I won't be here.
I don't have a ticket.
Neither do I.
So, do you want to... Yeah, because the week after that is Christmas. And tickets are probably already sold out.
I don't know. I'm sure there's enough showings on Thursday.
No.
Well, technically it's Friday, so they'd be all late night shows on Thursday.
I'm gonna look for that and send it out.
Bullshit. Where's the flag? I need a red flag.
Ruling on the field stands. Drew's definitely charged a timeout.
Here's what I think of your timeouts. So.
Oh, you chicken! You ran like a little chicken.
I did the right thing.
Nick's just calling him out and saying he's running like a. Begins with the B and ends in an H, right?
What?
Said he's chickening out, and you're saying he's running like
I
a.
actually thought about dropping the bomb out the rear that turn too, but I want to just mess with your Raider.
Oh, he's got fun.
Across the street there's 3 showings. Or no. 3, 4, 5, 6 showings.
Sounds like the mouse wants his money.
Oh, 0.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
All of them with seats available. Either all of them have seats available? Yeah. All of them have seats available. But if I'm going to see it, I will run one on my side of the town.
John and Jake are playing Wednesday. Someone with Brian and Paige are playing this Monday. I'm not going up. What? Yeah, I'm good.
When's what?
I ain't going Monday at all. I'm too busy.
Oh, that's right. You did drop that.
It doesn't hit me.
Okay.
And then it's only hit me.
I thought we were just. All right. Yeah. So. Am I really gonna feels like I've gone with this.
That one bank is tight.
I know. It's dirty.
It's a shame you can't do that zero bank.
I know.
We corrected it. I'm now parallel again. I straight up bumped my ship.
How dirty would a zero bank on that thing be?
So
That'd be dirty.
So it's Monday and Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday, but I think I might get to do Tuesday instead. But I can't do Monday. I'm not even showing up.
Let me know if you were recording. I'll bring
Lock.
I'm not bringing. Yeah, I'll just.
Tuesday I have doctor's appointment.
Okay, I'll have my laptop, so we'll still be good.
Lock. We're at our
Perceptive.
I think my house actually.
Alright, lock perceptive.
Lock perceptive.
Actually, hold on. I got to roll. I got to roll 2. I did 2 actions.
Oh yeah. Well, do one action.
Well, okay, so lock.
Sure, roll.
Crit.
Suffer 1 damage and repair this card.
Okay, so 1 damage.
So yep.
And then
I'll roll that again.
Or is it an actual damage?
It says 1 damage.
Yeah, 1 damage. So it's a shield.
So that would be the same.
Yeah.
This is the same action.
Yeah.
You just tick twice.
Cool. Then lose another shield, and you'll take a crit here because the proton bomb.
All right, so he took 2 actions and he had to roll for each, and he took lost his shields for it.
Crew shake it. After you overlap an obstacle, suffer 2 crits and repair.
Took another crit because of the bomb.
I got how much health left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got 4 hull left. Go. Hit crit.
So the attack into the Cobalt Squadron is hit, crit. 1, 2, 3. There it is. And the crit was Wounded Pilot. So now Nick's finally starting to get some damage into this Raider. He's down to 12 hull.
Damage circuitry. You recover 1 during the end phase. You recover 1 fewer. That's a weird one. All right, so why not recover? I recovered that too. Okay. So.
Does he recover 2 shields or just 1 now?
Not yet. I still have 2.
So I didn't notice that Drew still had to shoot with the Raider and kill off a couple of ships here. Oh yeah. The bomber's gonna die here with 1 hull.
I don't know, man. Oh, hell yeah, I'm dead in 1. I'm dead in 1.
I'm out of damage cards. I'm almost out of damage cards.
So Nick's going. He's almost out of damage cards in the deck. bonus turret attack into
Oh, nice dials. How long has that transport been there? I zeroed stop almost every turn.
so he didn't have to roll that time because it was an and repair this card. I don't think this is actually calculating the points rate for Nick because definitely that Raider is down to 10 hull and it had 20.
Not.
Are you getting a total?
Yeah.
It's
Got
10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, exactly 10.
Right.
Oh, you have 10 left.
Yes, but can
Yeah, it's half.
no, but I'm saying it's not calculating the points right because it's showing 10 hull plus the shield, so he's definitely done more than 2.
He's ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, he's by a mile ahead. Yes, I agree. But it's saying, hey Nick, it's 132 to 86. Yeah. No, that's fine. So I was just checking the Raider out. So the overlay's not calculating the points correctly because the overlay doesn't do the epic ships yet. So Drew is definitely way ahead, but Nick should have half points at least on this huge ship. So because the huge ship was 6 shields and 20 hull, and now he's down to 10. The interesting thing is if Drew decides to not be aggressive and then he could actually sit there and recover and get enough shields back to be back above half.
Under the shoulder
What?
From the base? Okay. Never mind, we're good. Okay. Yeah. So we'll start with. Why did I grab that one? Why did I grab that one? Let me see. I have boards and everything over here. So we'll start with. Wait, I don't have wifi. We're still no. Proton torpedoes. Rockets are range 1 and 2. You're up. Oh no, I'm sorry. You got it. So yeah, rockets. I'm sorry. My apologies. Recoil rocket into range. Okay, yeah, range 2. So yeah, now you just take whoever's dead and reshuffle it. Which is going to be obstructed. So I will perfect. 83. I take nothing. Let me just check. Okay. Nope. Natty. Or not natty. Well, damn here.
What? It's going back up. I know.
I'm going to be at 4 shield.
Oh my gosh.
So what I was talking about earlier definitely just happened as I paused to take in write a testimonial email for the Prime Championships for Mr. Nice Guy Games, which is one of the nicest game stores I've ever been in. So shout out to them.
Spend it.
Come on. Come on.
Oh my god. Do they need a testimonial from us? No, Legion needed the testimonial.
Legion needed it. Well, it's safe to have one.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll talk to Christy about it.
Okay. She left. Yeah, she left.
Not going too well here, Drew. I think we're gonna call it here. I don't have a shot now. You won this game nicely.
So Nick's conceding to Drew, and we'll save the time here, and I'm going to sign off and look forward to seeing you guys again on Nick's channel. And any comment, feedback, and commentary is greatly appreciated. I'm sorry I was very ADHD tonight and distracted with this large battle and these large number of rules interactions, and it makes it difficult to follow.
Yeah, like they showed up.
Nah, just close it out here. Just hit stop recording.